I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Ahead, we'll see Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks as they square off against the #1 pick, Kyler Murray, and the Arizona Cardinals. With that, let's get out to the desert. Standing by in Glendale, here are Brandon Gotton and Charles Davis.
We find ourselves at the home of the world's first retractable natural grass field as you get a look inside State Farm Stadium in Glendale. It's certainly hot outside here in the desert, but somehow this Cardinal crowd turned up the heat a moment ago. They were in a frenzy as their team emerged from the tunnel, and the Cardinals, they're set to do battle with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. Brandon Gaunt and Charles Davis on hand. And Charles, we've got two NFC West teams here. Your assessment of the state of the division coming into 2019, is it the Rams to lose?
We saw the changing of the guard with the Rams taking over from Seattle a couple of seasons ago. But Seattle got back in the game pretty fast, didn't they? You remember preseason last year? It was doom and gloom. Ended up in the playoffs. Arizona, they're kind of hitting the reset button. It's San Francisco to keep your eye on. With good health, good drafts, they could be the team that can really contend.
The children will grow, and it's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is taken at the 3. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks offense taking the field there. And CD, it was kind of a tale of two halves last week against Pittsburgh. Seattle getting the 2-point win. But Russell Wilson in that first half really started slow, was under constant pressure. But half number 2, a different story.
I actually did not see his post-game press conference, but I'm willing to bet he said something along the lines of, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. That second half was amazing. Torched the Steelers' defense. 29 of 35 overall, 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, and led his team to a 2-point win on the road. A big one for the Hawks.
Well, throw on first down with Wilson. He will find the rookie from Ole Miss. That's DK Metcalf. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now Wilson. That one going to be complete to David Moore. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
A gain of 13 yards. And the Seahawks first down.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Man left, man left. Everyone's got 4
To throw again is Wilson. To the right side and complete to Metcalf. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 13-yard gain yet again, just like last play.
First down, Seahawks.
Well, it's just been an aerial attack all the way downfield, and they're putting it to the defense in a big way right now. What do you think, partner? Do you now run the football? Because they're in a pretty good spot already at the outer edges of the field goal.
But, like you always tell me, you're still far enough away from the end zone that a pass could be a good option here, too.
You know, we always talk about running the ball until people take it away from you. I don't see any reason to stop throwing it until they take it away from you as well.
Well, the early returns here on the opening drive, though, solid. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
Let's get off the field.
Here's the second-year man from San Diego State, Rashad Penny. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. And the 11 defensive starters for Arizona.
Safety DJ Swearinger brings not just athletic ability to the field, he also brings a strong belief that he can get to the football on every snap. An absolutely fierce hitter, you can feel his intensity even when you're sitting down and having a meeting with him prior to the game.
The Cards going nickel. An extra defensive back out there now on third down. This is Chris Carson, 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. And he'll only get this to the 17, well shy of what he needed. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a fourth down. On comes the Seahawk kicker here on fourth down. It's Jason Myers. This will be a 34-yard attempt. Myers' kick is good. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. Able to move the ball on that drive. Yes, just 3 points, but 4 first downs were in there.
Yeah, and you can look at it and feel pretty good about the whole thing and think, okay, this should continue throughout this ball game. On the flip side, if you're a defender, it's almost like, whew, we only gave up 3. They moved the ball on us pretty well.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The top pick of the draft, Kyler Murray bringing out the Arizona Cardinals, who sit at 0-1-1 after 2 weeks. Now in week 2 at Baltimore, over 300 yards again, 349 yards, no touchdowns, though, and no picks. So this is the good stat. Second quarterback to throw for 300-plus yards in his first 2 NFL games, but they haven't won either one of them.
Haven't won either one, but the Detroit game, the season opener, where they were down big in the fourth quarter and came back and tied the Lions, that almost felt like a win to Arizona. Something great for them to build on. They played Baltimore tough on the road the very next week. One thing I'm looking forward to seeing, when Kyler Murray exercises his legs a little bit. Ran for over 1,000 yards last year.
Looking for his tight end, Clay, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. His tight end, Clay, the intended receiver. Well, you're already down on the scoreboard, and now, Charles, you go out there, very first play, throw the interception. That defense, they're going to have to bow up.
Yeah, and let's see how they handle this, because we always talk about reverting back to what you practice. Well, you practice these situations. It's called sudden change. You don't expect to be out there this fast, but you are. Do you go out there with poise, or do you go out there with panic? Panic could get you scored on again.
Seattle Seahawks coming back out here to get the football, and we talked about their Week 2 game earlier, but Russell Wilson really picking things up in the second half. And really, Charles, the whole team picked things up in the second half of that game.
They certainly did. They got a little bit of help because Ben Roethlisberger got hurt and couldn't play the entire game, but still, playing Pittsburgh on the road, not easy. Now think about this tough stretch they have ahead. Playing both teams from last year's NFC Championship game, a trio of games against the last 3 Heisman Trophy winners, young guns like Kyler Murray, Lamar Jackson, and Baker Mayfield. But in the present, how about a tip of the cap to Pete Carroll? The oldest active coach in the NFL had his 100th win on the road against Pittsburgh on his 68th birthday. And by the way, he didn't look anywhere close to 68.
I was just going to say that. He looks closer to 58. Happy birthday, Coach.
I'm going back to you.
On 2nd and 9, Wilson. Left side complete to Lockett. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he's able to pick up the 1st down before he's tackled right at the 10. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a 1st down. Penny, a 1st down carry. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. A 10-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead grows to 10-0. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it's finished off by a Rashad Penny touchdown run. Unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The second year to analyze, Charles, what Arizona has done so far this year as they bring their offense back onto the field. 2 tough games to start the Murray-Kingsbury era. No wins to show for, but you mentioned it earlier. Week 1, you battle back. You get the tie against Detroit, and then a 1-score loss against a very good Baltimore team on the road. So maybe something to build on.
I think so, because I think the tie with Detroit holds up a little bit better after 2 weeks when Detroit beat the Los Angeles Chargers last week. That's a big win. So that tells you that Detroit team you're playing, it might be a little bit better than what people think. Going down the road, though, 2 home games. First against Carolina, struggling a little bit. And in the first big test in the division, they've got to go take on the Seattle Seahawks. Obviously not easy, but I think Kyler Murray is growing rapidly at the quarterback position. And I think that overall, this Cardinals team is playing better than expected.
This is David Johnson, the former All-Pro. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down. A lot of people felt Johnson was a little misused during what was a disappointing 2018. 940 yards on the ground, 7 touchdowns. Great for most, but not the season Johnson was hoping for. And he said this offseason, there are a lot of good running backs in the NFL, but I'm the best. And now he's trying to prove it, hoping to get back to the production that sent him to the Pro Bowl in 2016. That would certainly help his rookie quarterback. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit. Murray now on 1st down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
It leads to 2nd and 10.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. This one caught by Isabella. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down. 10-0 to score after one on EA Sports. Back in Arizona, second quarter action. It's the Cardinals in possession as they're facing a very tough 3rd and 11. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on third down.
Bandit.
Throwing is Murray on third down. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Intended for Charles Clay, incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
On fourth down, here's Andy Leon to kick it away. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's Wilson. Quick slant, caught by Moore. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead. The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches. From the shotgun, Wilson. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
58, come on.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. In that time for the sack, say hello to Chandler Jones. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Wilson leaves this one with Penny. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead. I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on 2nd and long, but it worked out for them.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch the defense just right and break off a big run to help yourself out on the next down.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Open man, it's Madden. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. His first catch, good for 8 and a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
On 1st down, it's Carson. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. From the 38, Wilson to the right side, and he's got more complete. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 40. Wilson now, only one pass has hit the ground for him. 10 of 11 thus far. It's 1st and 10. Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. They give him a gain of 38.
Get ready.
Now, we know this offense has the potential to strike quickly, and they just bit off 2 huge plays on back-to-back snaps.
So on the other side of the ball, you've got to go Band of Brothers thought process. No one left behind. No pointing fingers, no accusations, because if you don't, those quick strikes we just saw, they become long-lasting.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0, our score. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman. He's in Orlando, and he'll have our EA Sports halftime report. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. A 1-yard run on 1st down, another yard that gets them into the end zone on 2nd down. Maybe not much for the yards per carry average, but hey, 6 points.
Yeah, bottom line is it doesn't matter there. You've got to find a way to wedge it into the end zone. Yards per carry, that's out the window. How do you score? And on the 2nd down, they had something going. They got a yard before. They thought they could do it again, and they got it done.
Now Myers for the extra point. He's got it, and it's 17-0. A 10-play drive that time. And it was all capped off by the Chris Carson touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. He'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
A throw left side to start out. That's complete. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
That was a nice throw out there to the flat, but they defended that pretty well. The hope is to go ahead and put it on him so he can turn and get upfield and gain additional yardage. There just wasn't anywhere to go on that play.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
Just like that.
Now Murray throwing on 2nd down. That's caught on the left side by Kirk. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards.
I think it's pretty safe to say that initially they had to be thinking about trying to get into field goal range. But after that shot right there, they've got to be thinking bigger right now.
And that was probably their thought offensively. If we hit this, great, let's go for the end zone. If not, settle for a field goal. Looks like they can try to hit pay dirt. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Here's Murray over the middle and caught by the tight end Clay. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Let's go. Watch the pass.
To throw again on 2nd down. Murray, and an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
1st down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down. Murray to air it out again. And completes it to Kirk over the middle. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their 2nd, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Murray now on 1st down. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a 1st. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
The Cardinals into the red zone for the first time. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. On 1st and 10, here's Murray. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Larry Fitzgerald was the intended target. And it's 2nd down. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide-open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Cardinals. Charles Clay, as the first half is winding down, as they are now on the board here in the first half. So it goes for a rookie quarterback. He had the INT earlier in this first half, but he bounces back with a touchdown pass.
And you have to like the mental acumen, the toughness, the fortitude of him, because oftentimes for a rookie, you throw an interception early, you're taken right out of the game, or mentally you check out a little bit. Give him a lot of credit for bouncing back.
Gonzalez good on the extra point, and that'll cut the lead to 17-7. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it winds up in a touchdown for Arizona. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This game's had a little bit of everything thus far, and certainly plenty to look forward to, as the teams are right back out there for the second half. So we'll get right back out there as well, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. First down, Murray. Fitzgerald bringing it in over the middle. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. The 11-time Pro Bowler Larry Fitzgerald still has it. His production did take a dip last year on the heels of 3 straight 1,000-yard campaigns. He's in the back half of his 30s now. What a career it's been. Coming into this year, over 1,300 receptions, 116 of those for touchdowns, and second only to Jerry Rice in career receiving yards. Pretty spectacular. Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. 3rd and 2, and here's Murray. And he's got his man. It's the tight end Clay. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Throwing on first down is Murray. He gets it left side to Johnson. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
He steps out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Out of the pistol, here's Johnson. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 12 yards there and a first down. Those are the type of runs that we did not see from him in the first half, but a good start to the 3rd quarter.
And I know what everyone's thinking that's watching this. They did a great job adjusting at the half. Oftentimes you don't make adjustments. You just dial into your game plan a little bit better, and maybe they're starting to make some headway.
Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Hey, we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving.
Here's Johnson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right, you look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. From the gun on 3rd down, Murray. Complete, it's Johnson. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Here's Andy Lee now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the 3rd. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, Let's take control right away.
Yeah,
Defense,
got the lead. Yeah.
we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see what the offense gets done.
And now the drive starts with a completion out to the right. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
First down.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
The throw over the middle, taken in. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks.
12. First down, Seahawks.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the gun, a give to Penny. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line. Call that a gain of 5 as the clock ticks inside of 2 minutes to go now in the third.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
From just shy of midfield, Wilson over the middle, and it's incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there, and it's 3rd and 5. This defense trying to do its part, active hands on that play, but their offense hasn't given them much to work with.
So they're not going to worry about it. On their side of the ball, all they're concerned about, can they create some scoring opportunities and help out that offense?
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 40.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
Wilson now, pretty amazing. 14 of 16 throwing the ball. It's 1st and 10. Boy, nowhere to go at all on that first down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
They run again with Carson. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense, and guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
On 3rd down, Wilson on the move to his left. He can run for it, and he will. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
And the Seahawks, first down.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Wilson now, pretty amazing. 14 of 16 throwing the ball. It's 1st and 10. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. From the gun on third down, Wilson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish, because strategy would tell you run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
And what can they do here on 2nd and goal? 3 red zone trips so far have yielded 2 touchdowns and a field goal. Now it's Carson. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
Defense.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Automatic 1st down.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty. 1st and goal. Penny will try to punch it in. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky.
This is where coaches have to have spent a lot of time going over situations with their players, because him getting tackled there is not the worst thing in the world. You're going to run more plays, right? Clock's going to go. But his thought process is getting into the end zone. It's counterintuitive for him to actually go down in this spot.
Yeah, but like you say, you don't want to get in the end zone too early here.
No, not at all, because you may leave an opening that could come back and get you.
Here's Carson, still going, and he will not be denied. Into the end zone, touchdown Seahawks. Chris Carson, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. On that sideline, they're saying that was more like it. The 1st down run went backwards, that time into the end zone.
And I like their little bit of courage in play calling, too. Because after an unsuccessful run, especially one where you lose yardage, you oftentimes go right to throwing the football. They came right back with a running play, and it paid off handsomely.
The extra point now coming from Myers. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. That one was an extended drive, 14 plays all told. And it was all capped off by the Chris Carson touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. Now Murray. And his throw here's incomplete. Charles Clay has tied in the intended target, but it's going to be 2nd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Murray again, 2nd and 10. Caught on the left side, Fitzgerald. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down. Those short little routes probably going to be open. The defense, they'll let those happen, especially when they can make an inbounds tackle.
Yeah, where's Coach Madden when you need him? He always talked about taking what the defense gives you, but sometimes you have to know when you have to take more. That was one of those situations.
Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. On the ground, this is Johnson. And he's got the 1st before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Murray now on 1st down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. It's a gain of 11 and a Cardinal 1st down.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
Here's Murray from midfield, and that is incomplete here. He was looking for Charles Clay as tight end, and now it's 2nd down. Another pass attempt, another incompletion, and they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely, because they were never really able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, so a lot of credit to the defensive game plan, and especially the execution.
On 2nd and 10. Murray looking left sideline, incomplete. The intended receiver was David Johnson, and it's 3rd down. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Watch left. Watch left. Check that.
Throwing is Murray on 3rd down. It finds Crabtree for the completion. And now a fumble. The ball's out, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. They get just 2 out of it there, and it's 2nd down.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8 at the 35-yard line.
What? You ready? 58, come on. I got you, pop. 49, check 49, check 49.
On second down now, it's Carson. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd-and-2 situation.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've been excellent, 6 for 7. This time they face a 3rd-and-2. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
I think what we just saw their partner was linebacking speed that can trump O-line power. We see that at times because he filled the gap before the offensive lineman could get to the next level and take him on.
Now here's Michael Dixon. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. So the victory here for Seattle, and it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we say so long and sign off from the desert.